Hi everyone, today in this video I'm going to teach you how to do matching headings, also known as list of headings. It is a type B question in which the questions and answers are not in order. First, read the instructions and underline the keywords from the headings and understand what does it mean, and also be prepared for the synonyms and paraphrasing from the headings. First, it says the influence of Monbusho. Influence means what has the Monbusho has done to something, helping less successful students. Less successful students can be paraphrased as weak students or students who are lagging behind. The success of compulsory education, it means it will talk about the success of compulsory education in one of the paragraphs. Research finding concerning achievements in maths. So what are the research findings regarding achievements or progress in maths? The typical format of a math lesson. They will talk about the format or structure of the math lesson in one of the paragraphs. Comparative expenditure on math education. For expenditure, they might say costs, expenses, something like that. After that, background to middle years education in Japan. Okay, so they will give you information or the introduction about middle years education in Japan. The key to Japanese successes in math education. So, what are the factors for the success of Japanese in math education? They will talk about that in one of the paragraphs. The role of homework correction. So, in one of the paragraphs, there will be discussion on the contribution made by the homework correction. Here, for your reference, example has been given. So you do not have to read section A, and the answer is IB. Okay, so eliminate this option from the list of headings. You do not have to read this option again and again. Okay, now continue from section B. First, you have to read the first or maximum two sentences in detail, and the last sentence from the paragraph in between you can do skim reading. Lower secondary school in Japan covers 3 school years from the 7th grade to the 9th grade. Virtually all pupils at this stage attend state schools, only 3% are in the private sector. So, in this paragraph, it has mentioned about lower secondary school in Japan, and I'm going to do here skim reading. Here they have mentioned about the classroom, lessons, teachers. Now continue from here. In practice in Tokyo, because of the relative concentration of school, there is some competition to get into better school in a particular area. So after reading this paragraph, I came to know that this paragraph is mainly talking about the lower secondary schools. The other are about the description on schools, classrooms, relations inside this. Okay, so the main idea is located in first sentence. Okay, so I'm going to take that idea and match with a list of headings. The influence of Monbusho, they have not mentioned Monbusho helping less successful student, not at all. The success of compulsory education, they have not mentioned compulsory education. You do not have to read this option. The typical format of a math lesson, they have not mentioned math lesson and its typical format. Comparative expenditure on math education, they have not mentioned expenditure on math education. Background to middle years education in Japan. Exactly, middle year education means lower secondary school. This paragraph is a description of lower secondary school, or middle years education in Japan? So the correct answer is V double I. So write down V double I in section B. Now you can eliminate this option from the list. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have remaining 7 options or headings from the list. 2 are already eliminated. Now continue to section C. Read the first 2 sentences because the main idea are located in the first 1 or 2 sentences and the conclusion can be in the last sentences. For the rest, I'm going to do skim reading. Traditional ways of teaching form the basis of the lessons, and the remarkably quiet classes take their own notes of the point made and the examples of demonstrated. Everyone has their own copy of the textbook supplied by the Central Education Authority, Monbusho. I can see the keyword Monbusho. Okay, is part of the concept of free compulsory education up to the age of 15. Now do here skim reading, okay? You do not have to read every sentences in detail. Besides approving textbooks, Monbusho also decides the highly centralized national curriculum and how it is to be delivered. So in this paragraph, they have talked about Monbusho. Monbusho is a central education authority, and it has helped to provide free compulsory education to the Japanese, as well as it has helped to decide the national curriculum and its delivery. Okay, so this paragraph is about Monbusho and its contribution. The influence of Monbusho, exactly, the influence means what has Monbusho done in the field of teaching. Okay, influence means contribution. Now, you will not find the keyword influence. Rather, it will talk about what is the contribution made by the Monbusho. The contribution made by the Monbusho is that it provides free compulsory education up to the age of 15, and it also decides the centralized national curriculum and its delivery. So it is the contribution or the influence made by the Monbusho. Other options do not match with the paragraph you can see here. So write down here I. Eliminate this option from the list to narrow down your headings. Now continue to section D. Read the first 2 sentences. First 2 sentences and the last sentence, because the main idea are mostly located in first 2 sentences or last sentences, or sometimes the answer can be in the middle sentences. Lessons all follow the same pattern. At the beginning, the pupils put solutions to the homework on the board, then the teachers comment, correct, or elaborate as necessary. Pupils mark their own homework. This is an important principle in Japanese schooling as it enables pupils to see where and why they made a mistake so that this can be avoided in future. Now, skim read here. You do not have to read each sentences in detail, just skim read. Well, after reading this paragraph, I came to know that they are talking about the pattern structure of the math lesson. Okay, so the correct answer, I'm going to resonate that information from the paragraph to the list of headings. They have not mentioned any less successful student. This is not math lesson. Okay, put this option in hold. They have not mentioned any expenditure. They have not talked about the Japanese successes in math education. Not at all. This is not option. So the correct option here is the typical format of a math lesson. They have given a description of that in these middle sentences. So you can look for that. So I'm going to write here V. Now eliminate this option. Section E. Read the first two sentences or one sentences. It is remarkable that large mixed ability classes could be kept together for math throughout all their compulsory schooling from 6 to 15. Teachers say that they give individual help at the end of a lesson or after school, setting extra work if necessary. Okay. In this paragraph, it has mentioned about the help or assistance to be provided to the strugglers or the slow learners. Okay, for them they have given assistance through teachers or through private evening tuitions and from parents. Now resonate that information to the list of headings. Helping less successful students. For less successful students, they have mentioned weak students or strugglers. The help is that they are assisted by the teacher or quietly seek help from their neighbor, and parents also inform of their children progress and will play a part in helping their children. So this paragraph is about how to help the strugglers, slow learners, to different persons like parents, teachers, or through tuitions. It has mentioned something like that. I'm going to read other options too. No, this passage is not about compulsory education or its success. It's not about expenditure or cost. It's not about the factors to Japanese successes in math education. So the main idea from paragraph E is about helping or assisting strugglers or weaker students in math. So I'm going to write here double I.